Hello strategy gaming enthusiasts, my name is AlzaboHD, and in today's challenge video, we are going to attempt to fix the economy of the most indebted nation in the world, Japan. This country is without a doubt the hardest to play in Democracy 4, and will need to ban anime and clear over 1.3 trillion billion yen in debt without collapsing the country or getting voted out of office. These desperate times call for desperate measures, so we'll play as the Happiness Realization Party, a popular party built on happiness science, an intriguing ideology that is definitely not a cult. We'll be competing politically against the more mainstream LDP and CDP, respectively the parties of conservatism and liberalism. This debt has got to go, and it's time to clash in Japan. But before we get started, this video is sponsored by Clash of Clans. More than 1 million mobile strategy gaming enthusiasts battle every day in this free-to-play game, and building virtual empires will never be the same. Clash of Clans offers a wide range of challenging gameplay modes, from the classic single-player campaign to the intense clan wars and builder-based battles. You can upgrade your defenses, train powerful troops, and unlock new buildings and spells to stay ahead of the competition. And if you're looking to score some clash, there are global competitions and tournaments where the most skilled players can show off their prowess and win big prizes. Right, meow, my cats are more skilled than me, but thankfully Clash of Clans is easy to pick up and play. Join my clan, the Alzabo Army, and support the channel today and play Clash of Clans for free by scanning the QR code on screen and downloading the game in the description box below. The year is 2023, and Japan is a moderately prosperous polity with a substantially healthy educated population prone to hikikomori. The Yakuza control the streets, pensioners can barely pay for sheets, and seas bring shame upon the name of our economy. It doesn't take a degree in economics to see that our 300% debt to GDP ratio is baka, and our first goal will be to eliminate this hole of debt interest that constitutes 30% of our quarterly spending. Of course, other disposable and expendable expenditures can be cut to help, but we'll need to go full speed with increased taxation and absolutely no representation. In functional terms, this puts us at 23 trillion yen in deficit per quarter. Our party's popularity is relatively in order, but disorder reigns across Kanto. Glorious Nippon is hobbled by hackers, angry doctors, skills, issues, an uncompetitive economy, companies running free, and an NHK media monopoly. Our first policy will be to destroy all social spending to enact austerity. We'll wash away welfare, take away 2 trillion in oil subsidies, and already the people are becoming more equal. Next, it's time to take tariffs to profit off of trade, but when you play as Japan, you can't evade the debt crisis. More than 8 trillion yen is spent on retirement, and that's no good. They should join our labor pool. One cool aspect of debt allows us to fire emergency powers and declare martial law, and we can thaw expenses of 3 trillion yen by employing Swiss strategies of neutrality, save 300 billion by evicting single mothers, and save over 1.2 trillion by putting the handicapped back on their feet. Say fuka to fish and research, nay to our navy, and height to police militarization and political indoctrination to slowly sway our population to patriotism. But we've hit J-rock bottom with our GDP down, rampant unemployment, and resource shortages, so we must go on the attacks. By raising income tax, our deficit has diminished to only 3 trillion yen, and while it is said that no roads lead to Tokyo as Japan can't afford them, our pissed-off previous pensioners have nevertheless taken to the streets. Forcing these fools to pay 90% of their income in taxes should set our ship of state straight. Pollution controls will be annulled, and even the robots will become homeless. In this time of austerity, it is time for foreigners to go home, factories to get thrown to China, and now everyone has obtained economic equality. Japan has hit a budget surplus for the first time in over 30 years, and it's time to turn that 500% GDP to debt frown upside down. We'll start by privatizing the water industry, allow kids to work from home, decommission nuclear wares, and turn our bullet trains into horse-drawn carriage lanes. These competitive business practices have driven our uncompetitive economy into the dustbin of history. Doctors now have more access to consumers, and Nippon is now a nation of tax evasion. But our policies are unpopular, and re-election, much like happiness realization, can only be accomplished by printing money and passing it around to everyone in town. We'll rid ourselves of unpopular programs like food and science, and soon the strikers have turned their attention to North Korean missiles and defending their homes from inner-city riots. I'm the tax man, and your bags will be taxed, your plastics will be taxed, your 7-Elevens will be taxed, gambling for kids will be relaxed, and lobbyists are arriving with fat stacks. Slowly but surely, our debt is being repaid, but to get re-elected, we'll need to pass popular policies for pennies. We'll give our people the YMCA, universal Sudoku, and mandatory karaoke of our national anthem with the NHK singing every day. For the first time in history, the Happiness Realization Party is polling for the lead, and despite more than 50% of our spendings going to debt repayment, we've cut so many social programs that we can afford to end our term by declaring a war on crime. It's time to Pokemon Go to the polls, and outside of lazy proles who didn't vote, our party has overwhelmingly secured ultimate victory. From Tokyo to Mount Midoriyama, our electoral victory was guaranteed by the super wealthy, and already massive changes have come to the land of the rising sun and setting GDP. While crime is only a number, we'll need to pivot our centrist policies towards authoritarian guarantees if our nation is to succeed in its second term. To start in good form, we'll fire pacifist advisors and appoint an American white woman as senior judge to clamp down on national crime. Our debt is slowly trickling down, but to end this time of crisis, we'll ban refugee resettlement, arm every officer with phasers set to kill, and this will lead to voluntary Gaijin deportation. Police drones will hover over every home, anime will be banned, and this toxic contraband will create employment in the form of senpai scavengry. Order must be restored, and the citizenry implored to celebrate every day of every week in honor of Japan's defense forces. All private citizens will pledge allegiance to our flag, foreign aid for Nanbanji must be emptied, and no unemployed peon will be paid to lay down their head in bed. Employers, too, must pay their part. We'll part with marriage allowances as salarymen have no time to spend with non-corporate family, and factories are closing on account of record 90% national unemployment. With the fat of social spending cut from our expenditures, we'll further fill our treasury with automotive taxes, which might have eliminated car ownership from Japan. You'll own nothing and be happy, serve the military for all of eternity, and unsurprisingly, our population is now almost entirely composed of patriots. To increase morale, we'll let corporate lobbyists fund legislation, but our society of unemployed nationalists have started an era of extreme nationalism. This rising crime wave will only subside under the watchful gaze of corpo-cult censorship. The appearance of fake news means we'll choose to take away press freedom for your safety, and now that our Happiness Party controls the channels, we'll wash brains compassionately. If you need to flee from this apocalypse of unemployed ultranationalists, you can retire to private military compounds. For-profit prisons will ensure sustainable seizures of person and property, and the PSIA will protect you from yourself. Our surplus of yen will afford us a fully peopled police force, but even with submachine guns on every officer, Tokyo has been terrorized and hundreds of innocents have died. Our only option left is to declare a war against terrorism in all shapes and forms. Secret courts have to become the norm for every crime. Yakuza must be yeeted, and we've nearly fulfilled our pledge to crack down on thought crime. To ensure we'll make it in time for the next election, we'll construct facial algorithm cameras in every corner, appease our voter base by feeding a baby lamb on cam, and goddamn, we keep getting hit by North Koreans. It's near the end of our term, and everyone hates us, but never underestimate the Japanese desire for identity cards. The time of internet crime has passed us, the inner cities are cleared of convicts, and we've fulfilled our promise to abolish criminality. We'll need to boost our popularity to stand for re-election, and the best direction is to pledge a new war on poverty. Let's roleplay as neoliberal to gain the approval of our corporate constituents, and we'll put the youth to work in mining the earth and granting concessions to our farmers. Only time will tell if our surveillance state of no social services will appeal to our citizens' zeal, and to be honest, this is the closest election I've seen in democracy for. Thankfully, we won't have a need for democracy in future terms, but the illusion of choice was fun while it lasted. We've blasted towards authoritarian capitalism, and while things may seem less than ideal, it's time to give our people a new deal with trickle-down dictatorship. In 2033, Japan has zero GDP. Nearly everyone has been freed from employment, but health is high, and our last term in office has crushed crime. With our debt still above acceptable levels and a slim surplus, our third goal term is to spur economic development. We'll raise the retirement age to employment for life, abandon so-called consumer rights, and change the laws to favor our corporate dictators. This cabal of conservative employers is demanding that women stop driving, and will agree, which single-handedly fixes our uncompetitive economy. Our unemployed masses need work, so we'll force them into the fields, but we aren't savages. We'll generously grant each prole a lump of coal, an education coupon, and an edible rice stamp that will provide them with their 200 daily calorie quotient. It's beyond time to arm these part-time dog walkers with harpoons and send them into the ocean to hunt whales, abolish so-called food standards, and legalize the production of American cheese. The economy is rising, unemployment is subsiding, and some semblance of normal life is returning to our lands. To turn some profit, we'll ban trade unions, pull an Ireland by inviting tax-evading corporations, hand out expired health cards, and in time, food other than stamps are back on the menu for our malleable masses. Ancient Japanese forest spirits are returning to our land. Burning the rising sun flag shall be banned, and the invisible hand has guided us along the right path. But if we are to prevent our companies from leaving the country, we'll need to cut down on holidays, safety, and non-profitable policies, as the free market provides the best services. Bootstrapless peons have little need for a livable wage, as happiness science is directly pegged to our rising GDP. We'll need to cut costs, and education is expendable, though token grants will maybe do something at a fraction of the price. Who knew that trading cards could fix teacher shortages? These wise decisions have brought Japanese companies back to our yard, and for the first time in modern history, we've gotten a double C credit score. Good job, team. You deserve slightly more edible paper stamps, and feel free to start smoking because we need to tax that too. Our economy is growing, our international infamy is growing, and we'll just say no to demands at socialized education. Actually, we'll cut socialized healthcare too, give people collectible mana cards, and keep our kids safe with guaranteed employment. Productivity has never been so high, and it's time to say goodbye to brain drain, but our rapidly decreasing debt means we no longer benefit from emergency powers. You're in for a treat when you apply for jobs, as we'll test you every time, and we'll also create cardboard ramps for wheeled workers. At long last, our debt crisis is over. We only have 220% GDP to debt ratio, and despite threats by carless females, no family for you, our economy is driving in the right direction. Happiness science has solved our pledge against poverty. We promise to lower taxes, and with a click of the button, it's time for re-election.
Nice. We've won with more than double the majority of last election, and our productivity, working hours, and smoke clouds have never blown higher as the HRP enters into 2038 AD. Our financial decrees have thus far netted us a surplus of 37 trillion yen, with relative GDP higher than debt trajectory for the second time in history. This debt will one day be paid, but for now we'll use our excess surplus to fund a trade council and embassies overseas. But within our seas, a declining environment has begun to spread respiratory disease. With a heavy heart, we'll have to pass anti-capitalist regulation for water censors and carbon campaigns, and while the Earth is on fire, our credit rating is BB. The HRP hates harmful regulation, but the state of nature in our nation is so dire that we'll have to invest in token renewable subsidies. But don't get any ideas. Break any law, and we can guarantee you'll face the death penalty. All the better, since less people means less difficulties with lockdown decrees. According to Happiness Science, employees are more fulfilled when permanently employed, and luxuries like vacation are not needed when your infant can be put to work. Who are you going to call? The BBB? We've obtained authoritarian capitalism in an ethical way. Our credit rating has soared to A, and pollution and environmental protests have swept across the state. I only wish someone would think about the shareholders, but the truth is we have to pass restrictive regulation to maintain our profits, otherwise even humans will die of natural causes. It's disgustingly unprofitable in the short term, but we'll have to ratify climate change protocols to ensure our employed interns can live to extol happiness science. Unbelievably, we've reached 100% debt to GDP by 2040 AD, and all it took was converting every social program into healthcare trading cards. Of course, that won't protect you from hurricanes, so to appease the rain gods of Shinto shrines, we'll ban cars and give out Pyongyang-powered vehicles to you and your entire family work unit. Any cars that remain will be powered by autonomous algorithms. Debt is down another 200 trillion yen, and pollution is back to the next generation will suffer limit. Fortunately for us, the current generation's suffering is marketable and profitable, but we'll still fund electric vehicles with built-in cigarette chargers for sustainable smokability. Donor arigato. It looks like one of our donors wants us to pass pollution controls, but that would affect Saint GDP and is thus discarded immediately. In the autumn of our fourth electoral season, we've got plentiful political capital, a fanatical support base, and a fulfilled promise to lower taxes. We'll do it again. 77% might just be our best victory yet, but debt, much like civil liberties, are still present and must be purged from our profitable polity. We must abandon debt and embrace technocracy, and we start our fifth term almost in the black. And speaking of black, liquid gold is being sold overseas, and we need to spread some democracy. With our budget nearly balanced, we can ensure that national service guarantees citizenship, and our military will be increased to overwhelming force. Of course, we'll also need a national navy and go heavy on the gravy. We've been spending most our lives living in a neoliberal paradise, so we'll cut corporate taxes to meet our campaign promise, and in 2043, Japan has finally funded the Japanese Space Agency to embark on space station construction. By now, the Happiness Realization Party is supported by every citizen of our nation. Debt is rapidly decreasing, robot production is set to autonomous, and we must set about a Mars base to beat the Americans. They say that in life, only debt and taxes are certain, but in this campaign, we have obtained the impossible. Our corporate cult has somehow eliminated all debt, and our patriotic Ashigaru have draped flags from Okinawa to Hokkaido. With such a surplus, we can easily afford to cut taxes to a livable rate, but we won't, as that money is better spent on arming drones and sending them to collect citizen contributions from each and every home. Our procedures of using armed drones to collect tribute has resulted in anti-techno traders who contest our path towards progress. But cars no longer need employees, and our economy is almost entirely post-human. We'll invest in autonomous water cannons, conflict-free tear gas, and at last, the gig is up. From henceforth, all protesters will be tagged electronically for their own safety, and the rebels have at last been quelled. The Japanese private space industry is taking off. Every call and every text will be controlled by Sengoku Net, and it's time for us to enrich some uranium. And on the topic of riches, we can finally afford to lower our taxes and allow our people to accumulate capital. But if you're browsing the internet, our autonomous algorithm will ensure you aren't breaking any of our over 9,000 safety regulations. By now, our computer-controlled cars are clogging the streets and producing preposterous amounts of pollution. Tax evasion finally has a solution, and our state-appointed clerks will come to your house and waterboard your whole family, just in case you don't say "Hi" in the upcoming election. Every citizen is required to vote for happiness, and while some will celebrate our 6th consecutive victory, others will be processed in our conflict-free off-world colony. Every single segment of Japanese society has voted for our party, except motorists and unionists, which have been exterminated, with the end result yielding a fanatically authoritarian and capitalist cultist country based around happiness, science. Over the course of our 25-year administration, the Japanese nation is almost twice as productive. Females are largely in jail, and every Asian nation hates us because they ain't us. Only poors can't afford our healthcare. No foreigners are allowed. Tobacco clouds every crowd. School is for the rich. You'll retire when you're dead, and water is back in a purchasable and pricey plastic bottle. Human employees have the pleasure of working 54% longer hours, only 64 hours Monday through Friday, but superior Japanese robots can work 24/7 all year long, as the flesh is weak. The price of progress is expensive, and some citizens are 40% less equal than others, but at least you can rent a house, and democracy doesn't matter. What does matter is GDP, poor people on their knees, and record savings for our sacred shareholders. If you're too anxious to report for central processing, it's okay, as our population has cratered anyway, from 125 million in 2023 to 115 million in 2048 AD. And now, it's time to take a closer look at our society. We finally made it to 2048 AD and the Happiness Realization Party's 6th term in office. And with ratings so high and 110% voter approval, our party has a permanent place in our polity. We've transformed the pacifist peasantry of 2023 into 100% pliable patriots that follow happiness science, and the rest of our society is guided by the invisible hand of capitalists, conservatives, and environmentalists. Socialist scum and malevolent mechanics have no place in Japanese airspace. Our GDP is without a doubt higher than before, and health and education are the privatized prizes of our neo-corporate nation. Otaku may lay in bed with waifu pillows, but our time in office has eliminated all crime, including anime, and poverty is at sustainable levels. If liberal devils existed, they may decry our supposed patriotism, Sithic absolutism, free corporate press, value-added long supplements, expensive J-phones, corporate tax evasion, free corporate press, traditional governance, skills issues, preventative penicillin, drone home inspections, and alleged car congestion. But thankfully, these are but slander and lies. The truth is that crime no longer exists. Parents are more productive without paternal leave. The youth are gainfully employed in asteroid mining. Nintendo has released a new F-Zero title. Communists still exist, certain restrictions may apply, and workers are free to work on their way to work thanks to automated automotive algorithms.
Our happiness realization party has transformed a decrepit and stagflating economy of over 1,400 trillion yen to a zen paradise of balanced budgets and a reserve surplus of 220 trillion yen, and has catapulted our country from neoliberalism to a corporate cult and authoritarian technocracy. From henceforth, we will use our sizable surplus to raise the human development of every Japanese citizen, but we'll probably just install subdermal tracking devices into your brain later in this game. If you've made it this far, I'd like to give you an Alzabo arigato for supporting the channel and the AI YouTube algorithm. If you seek supplemental strategy mockumentaries, be sure to subscribe to the channel, vote with the like button, and let me know what content you'd like to see on AlzaboHD. This video was made in partnership with Clash of Clans, and I invite you to check out the description box below to become a mobile gaming pro. If you want to show more support, you can also donate to our Patreon or donate basic attention tokens to AlzaboHD through the Brave browser. Stay tuned in March as more content is coming soon. Sayonara gozaimasu. It's beyond time to roll the credits.